Hey, what's going on, my frosty little friends? My name is Frosty Alpha, and welcome to our post-battle recap for our Week 8 match against the Minnesota Yon Twins and Coach Joe 6. Now, this match played very well. Was done very well on both sides. As you can see on the team setup, we brought our team. He brought pretty much what I thought he was going to bring, minus Darmanitan and Conkeldurr. I had a feeling Weezing was going to come. I also had a feeling that Empoleon was going to come. And he has a really good team set up right now. And our team is also looking very good. So we'll go into the match and I will explain what happens in my thought process as the match goes on. So as we go, I decided to lead with Espeon as he leads with Spunky the Mesprit. Now this one, I just decided I need to get up Calm Minds and I want to start getting into Sylveon. So I set up one Calm Mind. He goes for a knockoff. It does a lot of damage, and he knocks off my Focus Sash. I know that I can outspeed it, but I don't have anything to hit this thing with, so I just decided to Baton Pass it right into Madoka. So Madoka gets Baton Passed in with a +1/+1. He goes for Thunder Wave, trying to slow me down. Not sure if he knew the Baton Pass was coming or what. I should have, if I had known that was going to happen, I could have stayed in. But then he goes for a knockoff on the next one, knocking off my thing, as I decide to go for a Heal Bell to get rid of the paralyzation. I know it outspeeds, so it's not a big deal. He goes for Stealth Rock. He sets up his rocks because he knows I don't have a way of getting rid of it. I just decide to go for Hyper Voice, and Hyper Voice does a clean 50%. As for this, I expect him to either switch out or do something, or get into this war. He knows he can't win it, so he decides to just U-turn out as I go for a second Calm Mind. Now, I was pretty sure he was going to bring this thing in. I was kind of hoping to be at +3 by the time that the Empoleon came in. So he goes for Flash Cannon. It does a clean 35%. This is when I see that he is an attack variant with Life Orb. So this thing is built especially to take Sylveon. But problem is, Sylveon is now at +2, so that Flash Cannon doesn't hit nearly as hard as it should be doing. So he goes for that. I just decided to go for the Wish to get my HP back. He goes for a Scald, hoping for a burn, which he does snag the burn. It takes another 10%. I then go for a Hyper Voice here. It does a clean 48% at +2. And so I know at this place, I get the Wish, but now I take burn damage. I know I'm going to take a little bit more damage from Flash Cannon, so I just decide to go for the Heal Bell and let him kill himself. Looking at it in retrospect, I guess I could have gone for a Wish. Because looking at the numbers, he couldn't do enough to kill me unless he high rolls high. So I just decided, I was like, you know what, I need to get rid of the burn, because with the burn, it'll put me within range to kill me. So I guess I could have done a Wish, or maybe just Wish passed it into somebody. Maybe Wish passed it into, I don't know, Jellicent, or into somebody else, Krookodile maybe, and then getting a Wish pass off, and then going for whatever I need to go for. But I stayed in. He puts me all the way down to 1%. I just decided it's time to get rid of this Empoleon. It's time to get rid of it. And I go for another Hyper Voice, and it takes it out. So Madoka picks up 1 kill. And as you can see, we're pretty much almost trading off 1-for-1s here. So he then brings in Spunky. Spunky comes in. I know I'm going to lose it. So he goes for the knockoff. He takes it out. It's a 1%. That's fine. This gets me a clean switch into the ex-girlfriend. Now, the ex-girlfriend comes in. I decide I need to get my Stealth Rocks up. This is what I need to do. So he goes for Thunder Wave, paralyzing me. I'm already slow, and I'm not outspeeding it to begin with. He's hoping to get some paralyzation hacks. But it doesn't work, and I get my Stealth Rock set up. This one, I just decide to click Sucker Punch. He reveals the Colbur Berry, which this would have actually one-shot him should he had not had that Colbur Berry. So he knows this. He goes for Knockoff, knocking off my Life Orb, which is fine, because now I'm not going to hit as hard as I would have done before. He decides to hard switch. Here, I make a small misplay because I'm expecting him to U-turn, and I go for Sucker Punch, which does, as you can see, it does nothing. If I had actually anticipated that, I could have gone for, I guess, Thunder Punch, or Play Rough, which it is resisted by this thing. I could have gone for something else different, except for Sucker Punch to do some damage to it, so that way it could have had some damage done to it, and I could have weakened it even further. But he does reveal Black Sludge. He gains a little bit of HP back. I just decided to keep locking myself into Sucker Punches. It only does 17%. I know he's got Flamethrower. He goes for Flamethrower, knocks me all the way down to 2%. I just decide it's time to sack this thing off. I've already got the rocks up. The ex-girlfriend's done everything she can. And I hit the Sucker Punch, it goes through again. No paralyzation hack, so we got lucky this time. And I'm happy about that. So he critical hits it at 1%, which doesn't really mean anything. Now, we're down 5-4. So now I decide it's time to bring in Krookodile. Or, sorry, Jellicent. I thought it was Krookodile, but no. I decided to bring in Jellicent. He fears what this thing can do. So he switches into Spunky. Spunky takes rocks damage. He just decides to sack Spunky off to see what happens. I just go for a quick skull, trying to get a burn, and it just takes out Spunky. So Jellicent picks up another KO, and now we're even at 4-4. He switches into Zeph. I'm uncertain what this thing can do. I know it does get access to knockoff, so I don't want to lose my Rocky Helmet just yet. So I decide to switch out and sack Espeon just to see what it could do. And I also know that it does get Grass Knot. Here he reveals that he does have Grass Knot, which would have done a decent amount of damage to me. I could have done, Skull to get the burns or whatever. So I decided to go into Charizard here, and I'm just going to E-Speed, hoping for a high roll. I do get a clean 70% damage on it. But he then reveals the Hidden Power Ice, and he takes me out. So we're down 2-4, which is not a very good thing for us. So I decided to bring Krookodile in because now it's low enough. I know he's not going to switch it out. I decided to go for knockoff to lock myself in the knockoff. I then get the knockoff, and that puts us at a Moxie +1. So now I'm waiting for him to bring in something else. He decides to bring in Jimmy here. And so I go, you know what? I need to get rid of the recovery. I'm already locked into it. Let's go. Let's hope we can get it done. He does a clean 51, but doesn't OHKO. Unfortunately, just the way it works. So he goes for a Will-O-Wisp here. And this Will-O-Wisp was huge. I understand why he brought it in. Because he needed a Will-O-Wisp to keep me from doing anything. Had the Will-O-Wisp landed, this would have been very, very pivotal. But just because of the mischance, he misses it. He doesn't want to chance me being at a +2. So he decides at this moment that it is a good time to switch, which is a good thing. Now, Weezing will not survive upon re-entry. As it is, Azul comes in, and he comes in, takes this zero knockoff, and so it does clean 36%, which is nice because it's even weaker now. He goes in. I just decide to see what he's going to do. I could go for Jellicent here. I just go for another to see how much it does. Does 14%, and he goes for a Dragon Dance. Now I know he's trying to set up and win the game. So at this point, I decide I need to get back into Jellicent. This thing is going to be physically offensive. I need to get the hit in on I need to get the Rocky Helmet. So I'm expecting him to go for a hit here, like a waterfall, and I was kind of playing on that. But he goes for a second Dragon Dance. Here he goes for Crunch. And he takes out my Princess, which I knew he was going to be taking out Princess to begin with. But he also does get hit with the Rocky Helmet damage. That 16% proved very critical. Because without that 16% damage from the Rocky Helmet, I would not be able to come in with Krookodile and actually take it out. So I'm hoping for here that we outspeed. Now, remember, I'm Scarf, but he's also at +2. If he's invested in speed, he will still outspeed me and I will get taken out. We will lose this match 3-0. This is where I found out that I'm at least assuming, I haven't had a chance to talk to Jove yet, that he would have speed investments, and I was completely ready to take this 3-0 loss. But then something happens. As it is, we outspeed. And this threw me for a loop because I was not really expecting to. So now I realize that he's probably bulky Dragon Dance. So as it is, we're able to take it out, and we're locked into knockoff, which is the best option for also taking out Latias. So as it is, I outspeed Latias. At a +1, it doesn't survive because of it's weak to dark. And as it is, we knock it out, we get a +2 now. So Krookodile picking up 3 KOs, and now all he has left is this Weezing. The Weezing comes in, takes rock damage, the ex-girlfriend coming in to bite him in the butt in the end. And we end up taking a win over Season 2 champion Jove 6 and his Minnesota Eon Twins 1-0. So as for this, after this match, we are now 5-3 with a +2 differential. I'm really happy the way this happened. If he had run a speed variant, if he had run IVs into speed at +2, he would have outsped everything I had, including my Dundee here. But luckily enough, he went for a bulky version to be able to survive attacks. And we were able to outspeed even at +2 because with full bulk investment with no speed, he hits at +2 202 speed. My Scarfed Krookodile hits 211, so he was actually outsped by 9 points. So I don't know if that fully made the difference or not. I do know that the bulk version that he ran did make the difference in his loss here. If he had ran speed, like I said, he would have outsped us, and there's no way we would have been able to do anything. I think what I was trying to do at +2 was just try to see if I could survive and get a Will-O-Wisp, because I know it resists Scald. But as you can see, our Wartortles, we take a 1-0 victory, and I am excited that we get to... We're back up into a positive differential, and we're making a good push. This gives us a 3-game winning streak. So I know this was a little bit different than most people had expected. I think a lot of people knew we were going to have a good match, but almost kind of expected the Eon Twins to win. I mean, they have a great team. They're 6-1. They're doing very well, and I think it's kind of threw them for a bit. I really wanted to win here, and I'm glad that my team came through. Now, for announcements. We will be having our Week 10 battle a little bit early this next week. Cap from Cap and Crump is going on vacation, so we are actually going to be doing our battle in a couple of days. We're supposed to have our battle a little over a week from now, but unfortunately, since he's going on vacation, he's not going to be around. We decided to pull this battle a little early, so you might see our Week 10 battle before we do our Week 9 battle with Tothro. So I have 2 matches to plan for this week, one being the Tacoma Tyrannotars and Tothro, and then Cap from Cap and Crump and the Toronto Star Raptors. So as for Cap, I pretty much already prepared for him, and I will have a team builder put up soon. And then for Tothro, I have to build for him, but I remember the match we had last season where we had the longest match in RBL history at 136 turns. That was the longest match I've ever had. I've never had a match that long. 136 turns. That is an insane number of turns. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in our next video when we do our team builder for Cap, hopefully our match for Cap, and then our team builder for Tothro and our match for Tothro as well. So have yourselves a good day, and remember, stay frosty, my friends, alright?